It's a good look. Like you got to get the aim it out a bit more. If we could get you an ankh like Bones had in Wrath of Khan.
Oh
yes.
You know, we've got the little nod to that in this film.
I was talking to like Chris and Zachary, and they talked about that.
Yeah.
And I said, was that a reference? Because it looked like it was.
Absolutely.
They were like, I don't know if it is or not. So I have confirmation. Yes.
Absolutely.
So
go.
Let's talk about
Louder.
the costume. Let's talk about the costumes.
Faster.
Let's talk about the costumes. All right. So you've thrown me now. You've completely thrown me.
Don't be thrown. Let's just roll the.
I'm really
Just
sorry.
focus.
Okay.
Let your inner interviewer out.
But ask a really good question.
I will talk. Okay. All
Don't
right.
incense me.
Start with a stupid one.
No.
Keep it light.
Yeah. Keep it like that.
That's good.
Favorite Star Trek film that you are not in?
Wrath of Khan.
Everyone says Wrath of Khan.
Well, go ahead.
Into Darkness.
That you're not in.
That's the joke.
That's the joke.
No, really. Go on. There's a Wrath of Khan as well.
No, it's not. Actually, my favorite Star Trek movie would be Star Trek the movie.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah,
I like that one because there's a lot going on. You had, Kirk who's been away from the Enterprise. He's hasn't sat in the captain's chair for a while, and he's rusty, and he's got this conflict with Deckard, who knows the ship, and there's a young-old conflict going on. You've got Spock coming back, having failed to achieve Kolinar, and he has this personal agenda that is separate from the mission of the ship. You've got Bones coming back in with that awesome beard and the big medallion. And
yeah, that's right, the medallion.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about, the medallion.
Yeah.
Which we paid homage to in this film, and then obviously the mission itself was one of discovering this sort of being that was destroying everything in its path, but was ultimately Voyager, which was a classic Star Trek thing, is to take the villain and then engineer a paradigm shift. I think it's a great film, but it's a tad slow for perhaps a modern palate.
I think it's courageously slow.
It's got a real kind of beauty about it, which I didn't really appreciate.
At the time,
a few years ago, I was like, Wrath of Khan's my favorite, but now it's a motion picture.
Yeah, because like Robert Wise, he was a great director. He did some fantastic, Sound of Music and
Like he was Sand Pebbles with Steve McQueen.
Yeah. Give me just go as detailed as that into Wrath of Khan and why you like it so much.
I don't remember much about it except being scared S-less by Ricardo Montalban and the earwigs. Yeah. And Montalban was a great kind of over-the-top villain, and villains, often make the movie.
But wasn't he doing that thing, Paradise Island, or Fantasy Island? Yeah, he was doing Fantasy Island at that time. Was that not kind of soften him a little bit?
It was after Fantasy Island.
Oh, was it after Fantasy Island? Was it?
What amazed me about that is he had ripped.
That
guy was obviously
that's another thing, old man ripped.
Seriously, old man ripped.
Yeah. Like Hulk Hogan, he said he did something like 100 push-ups a day or something like that. It was something insane.
Who did?
Ricardo Montalban.
Serious?
Yeah, he apparently he had some insane fitness regime, and his thing was that before he'd put on the costume, he'd do 100 push-ups to get him kind of pumped up.
I loved his posture in the movie. It was just a barrel chest, Matador style.
And all the extras as well were Chippendales apparently. Really? No, really, yeah. All the guys around him apparently were all former Chippendales. That's how they because they wanted the real beautiful physique, almost Aryan kind of look and Nicholas Meyer apparently just went out and got a load of Chippendale dancers.
Just took the bow tie off.
Just take the bow tie off and just grease them up a little bit and put them in kind of sci-fi uniform. And it was fantastic. It's really, really cool. Okay, running out of time, but okay, I do want to ask you. First, I want to ask you about Dredd. I'm a huge fan of Dredd. Anything happening?
I'm sure there is. You know what? There's a lot of people that want to see a sequel to that in some form or other, and I think there's a lot of people working to try and deliver that. I'm sure it's going to happen one day. Yeah. Just don't know when or Yeah.
What's going to happen? Do you see? Obviously, you still want to be involved in it, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? If there was a great piece of material that was a worthy and legitimate successor to that film, yeah, sure, absolutely. But I wouldn't do it just for the sake of doing it. There'd have to be, some
A compelling
A
reason.
compelling reason, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. John, I mean, I don't want to kind of go too much into it, but I mean, have you spoken with George Takei on a personal level since all this kind of stuff has come out?
No, I wish I could. We just, it all sort of happened in Sydney, and then we were traveling, and we're in different parts of the world.
Sure.
But I'll wait till he's had a chance to see the movie, and
Sure.
and I hope that seeing the treatment of the of that revelation within the context of the movie might. Maybe it changes his mind. Maybe he feels more positive about it. It does. I think that's the best thing about it. Really, is how it. I know he's got issues with the character specifically being gay, but it's clear in the movie that he's not coming out of the closet. That he's never been in the closet. I think that maybe there's a misunderstanding there, and that the treatment of it in the movie is very casual and nonchalant. That it's just a fact, and nobody bats an eye. And if he sees that, maybe he's encouraged by that.
Cool.
That would be my hope. And then maybe we'll talk after that.
Cool. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. John Cho, Karl Urban, thanks, Mo.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate that.